Hello everyone, welcome to metaphysicmedia.com. Today's topic is going to be revolved around the research that Linda Moulton Howe has done and her research into dragonfly drones and UFO shapes. So let's get started. Most of us are still looking for any evidence or ask ourselves, are aliens real? Linda Howe's research has uncovered UFO shapes that are much different from most people think about UFOs. Try dragonfly drones. We are living in a very complicated world, a world full of confusion, unjust theories, and unsolved mysteries. Dragonfly drones are just part of it, and the explanations behind them are just theories, and even though science tries to explain them, they do not quite bring the point home. The dragonfly drones are massive UFOs which are supposedly thought to come from a different airspace other than our atmosphere, and begs us to ask the question, are aliens real? According to Linda Howe, a news analyst and specialist who has received reports of witnesses about sightings of dragonfly drones and their huge, round, large appearance, they are basically round and are hollow in the middle but contain a large tail with symbols attached to them. The strangest thing about them is that they have some sort of wires protruding upwards from the rim of the dragonfly drone itself. I could possibly equate that to some type of antenna. An eyewitness named Mary reported to have received photographs of someone named Isaac, who had also sighted them and was researching them extensively. The research goes further to report that there are some dragonfly drones that are even invisible and rotate silently. This fact raises more questions and concerns, assuming that there might be some above us at any time. Linda's research suggests that the symbols on the tail of these dragonfly drones have something to do with their invisibility. So are there any eyewitnesses to these dragonfly drones and UFOs? What UFO shapes have witnesses seen to ask themselves the question of, are aliens real? Are they really UFOs from other planets and are aliens, or are they just another cover-up of our government and of conducting experiments? One of the burning questions that will always linger in the minds of many people is why they are never on papers or in the news. From the big media houses like CNN and Fox News, they have never come across the incidences, or have they just got buried? In some hotspots places, if you look into the sky, you will see different UFO shapes, including the dragonfly drones that we're talking about here. Are these different types of UFO shapes, or are there different types of UFO shapes? Yes, indeed, there are. In a conversation between Linda Howe and an eyewitness called Mary, who found herself in endless questions, there is much more to learn as more incidences unfold. The incidents occurred when Mary was at home while taking the staircase of her house to get a pack of cigarettes for her mother-in-law. She realizes a weird shadow that flashes across her bed. The shadow made her inquisitive and wanted to know what it was, and so she headed for the window to check it out. To her surprise, a large round object was flying low just above the telephone poles, which she could only imagine looked like some of these dragonfly drones that have been reported in the past. The mesmerized Mary took a photo of the object before rushing downstairs to tell the parents. Unfortunately, when they all came up to see, there was nothing to see, and it was all gone. Mary confirmed that the large object, dragonfly drone, could be measuring about 15 to 20 feet, with a large, longer tail that attached to the circular body, which is different from many UFO shapes that we commonly know about. This is not so different than some of the UFOs that have been seen in Puerto Rico. Joshua P. Warren has created a ton of research in his U.S. province, so you can check that article later. Did Mary see these dragonfly drones again after she had her first encounter with these unusual UFO shapes? After this incredible sighting, Mary was still asking, are aliens real? After much reporting to the media houses and radio stations on her first-hand witnesses of these dragonfly drones, the incident faded into thin air just like that. Did the media know something that we didn't? Does our government possess dragonfly drones? After about 11 years, when Mary had left to live elsewhere in Detroit, it came to her surprise that she had to face this once again. She was traveling with her 12-year-old daughter and her 6-year-old daughter in her car along the Argentine road of Michigan when this weird object, which was different from other UFO shapes, were floating right above them in the sky, which looked similar to her previous encounter with the Dragonfly drones. After the second encounter, she could no longer ask herself, are aliens real? Because obviously you've seen it twice, you think you're crazy the first time. Keep seeing them, you realize it's a reality. Mary and her kids stopped and got out of the vehicle that they were driving to watch the disc in amazement. At this point, even her kids could no doubt doubt their thoughts of are aliens real. The incident lasted for about 3 minutes before raising itself and shooting to the north. Just as they drove a few miles to their destination, Mary and her kids were so surprised to find out several dozens of people were staring at the same silver disc that they had seen a couple miles earlier. What a terrific incident. What is it, and how long have you been observing this? Mary asked a police officer who was holding a walkie-talkie. The officer said that they had been watching it for about a good hour. The statement made her very confused. Since she had just seen the object less than an hour ago, with the statement it makes perfect sense because these types of UFOs seen by eyewitnesses, one example people use, these are like models of what you would know as cars. With this point, acknowledge how many alien races are visiting us. It is indeed disturbing, if you ask me. There seems to be different types of races, benevolent, malevolent. We just don't quite know yet. Some people will, as this military ask if this is a military drone Dragonfly, because we obviously must have had this technology because we have recovered so many of these UFO crashes, right? So for Mary, there was nothing she could do but watch this whole incident and become bewildered in amazement and wonder. But something else comes up when the police officer mentions a magnetic field theory. Although Mary does not understand this, it tells a lot about the scientists and historians explain and the historians can explain a little bit better. Two experts mentioning this will date back to an experiment called the Philadelphia experiment. The experiment was launched in October 1943 by the U.S. Navy, despite the denial that there was no such experiment. During the experiment, a destroyer ship was made to disappear and reappear in a different place within a blink of an eye. Is this what these Dragonfly drones are doing, reappearing and disappearing? Because they seem to be able to disappear, come back, reappear. And some other videos I've seen that have got UFO footage, you don't see them actually travel up and down. They just appear, reappear in different places along the sky before they just disappear altogether. Many say the experiments was successful, and science also proves that is possible. Why would one even think of such a thing? The U.S. Navy realized that if a ship could be made to disappear or invisible in the eyes of the enemy, they could easily beat the enemy forces as they cannot see them. This is a genius experience and a tactical move for the Navy. This, however, is not final, and the quest for answers is still on the rise, and some have been reporting to be UFOs. It's a twist trail to understand how many people and these Dragonfly drones and UFO shapes are just one of the alien topics that Linda Howe is researching daily to try to find an understanding between these two parallels. Are aliens real, or is our government possessing technology and these Dragonfly drones are actually our own terrestrial technology? So that concludes this article. My thoughts on it is before I saw this research, I never even heard of Dragonfly drone. It's just like a circle with wires protruding up, and it's got a tail on it, and so it resembles a dragonfly. But on the tail, there's all these different symbols, which seemingly allow it to become invisible when it wants to be. So I have a lot more information. We can talk about it while I'm streaming video games. But before I go, I'll talk about one of her books is Glimpses from Other Realities, where she has some topics of Dragonfly drones and also alien abductions and other types of weird UFO phenomenon. And you can buy that book at metaphysicmedia.com/books/glimpses of other realities. And then you also can see it on the bottom of the video. And then if you go to our website, earthfiles.com, there's a lot of good information there, a little bit more in depth than what I went into her research and interviews that she's conducted, but she's always got some good stuff. So before the end the video, we're going to talk about how to interact with the site real quick. Podcasts, basically this is the audio only version of the video that you're watching now. If you're listening to the podcast, obviously you listen to the audio version. And so with each article, we come out with a video and audio version. And this way to subscribe in this tab here, you can go to subscribe through email. I give away lots of books on my gaming stream. So you sign up. Many times I'll shoot out a special code. So when I shout out the code during the stream, you could only know the code if you were to have used my email or have gotten my email. So that's one way to get a free book. Facebook, I post all these articles to Facebook. If you want to comment, like it, whatever there, it's much appreciated. And I also comment back to you there. Twitch TV, this is where I do my video game streams. We have the audio version running in background, and I alternate listening to a whole recording and then talking about for an hour, and back and forth, or however long people want to stay and chat about it. Twitter, you can get updates on my articles, or anytime I go live on Twitch, you can find it there. YouTube has all my YouTube videos that I create. You can subscribe there, which is cool because you get notified whenever a new video is up. And then stories, recent stories. So people have seen a ghost story or UFO, if they have medical breakthrough or theories, it's a story, and it can go a wide range of topics. And so you can read other people's stories by hitting recent stories. If you have your own story, submit a story. We like to be able to. Everybody likes to read everybody's stories, and a lot of times I'll put your story on YouTube video and podcast audio. So good stuff there. Videos. Well, let's just click it right here. You go to the video section. Basically, the video section just has lists from the most recent video to the least. So right now I got 3 of them up. I'll continue to do these daily. And then below here, obviously on every page, is the additional, all the links to everything that I've submitted on the site. And then live stream, so you can go twitch.tv/metaphysicmedia, or you can watch it embedded on my site here. So right now, obviously, I'm offline, but if you want to watch it here, you can. It might be easier for you. It's completely up to you. You can contact us for anything. You have a question, if you have anything about the site, or you're an author and you want to submit a research synopsis of a book that's coming out, you can contact us this way. You can go to the About Us screen. Tells you briefly a little about me, and I have had a paranormal experience, and I discuss it in here. If you can read that if you like, and then you can donate if you like to me also. I appreciate donations. It helps generate the money it takes to generate the material and research that I need to write the articles, and also hosting spaces. So with that said, actually we'll go to homepage really quick, and I can show you how my homepage looks. Basically, this scrolling is just kind of nice little eye candy, so you can basically, if you hit any of these book titles, they'll go directly to your article. On the home page, you'll have the ability to see the recent podcasts that I got, featured and recent videos. There'll be a slide here. And then comments on any articles will show up here, and then the most recent article will show below all of that content. So the front page is a pretty good way to get all up-to-date information on everything current that's going on. But if you have a favorite author or you're a favorite researcher, you can go onto this sidebar here, and Josh P. Warren, Josh Abraham, Marshall Masters, Linda Howe's got several up. So with that said, enjoy. I hope you enjoyed this webcast and podcast, and join me as I'm playing games later. See you later, guys.